Welcome back. Let's do more practice to make you stronger. Our focus is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and rationalize the denominator. Okay, let's look at the first one. Pause this video if you want to try it all by yourself. Negative square root 12. I'm going to write down as 3 times 4. And then I have negative 2 square root 3. And square root 8 is 2 times 4, which means 4 can come out, which means we have a positive 2 square root 2. And then I'm going to copy down this guy. Okay, now negative 2 square root 3, 2 square root 2, 5 square root 2. These two are like terms. We can combine them. So 7 square root 2. This one can't do anything, so I'm going to write down just like that. And we call it all done right here. Okay, let's multiply it. Just like what you have learned in polynomial, and we did a FOIL method. F means first, and O means outer, and I means inner, and L means last. We can try this method. Then I'm going to show you another different method. So first is these two guys. Square root 2 times square root 2 is 3 times 2, which gives me 6. And next one, I'm going to do O is alter. So this one, then I'm going to do alter. And alter is square root 2 times 2 times square root 3. That is also plus, so 2 times square root 6. Next one, I'm going to do inner. So we did first, we did alter, we're going to do inner. Inner is square root 3 times 3 square root 2, which gives me also positive 3 square root 6. And the last step we're going to do, the last one, is right here. And it is a square root 3 times 2 square root 3, which gives me 2 times 3. It is also a 6. Let me use white. Now, 6 plus 6, that's 12. And combine like terms. That's 12 plus 5 square root 6. You can also try a different method. It's just like when you're trying to do 23 times, let's say, 37, and you do this direction first, then you do 7 times 2, and then you do 3 times 3, then you do 3 times 2. Just like this idea. So we can write it down and make sure you copy down the symbol. And 3 times the square root 2 is here, and plus 2 times the square root 3 right here. Alright, I'm going to do this direction. So 2 square root 3 times the square root 3, that is 2 times 3, that gives me 6. And then the next layer, I'm going to do this one. 2 square root 3 times the square root 2, that is 2 square root 6. And make sure you copy down your symbol here, positive, sometimes negative. All right, and then I did here. I'm going to do this. So 3 square root 2 times square root 3, that is 3 square root 6. 3 square root 6. And the last layer, I'm going to erase it. All the rest, the last layer, I'm going to do this 2. So 3 square root 2 times the square root 2, that is 3 times 2, it's 6. I will also write down here, line them up. I'm lining up all my like terms. And then all you need to do is, just like when you learned from your adding, subtracting polynomial, multiplying polynomial, and this is the same idea. So 6 plus 6, that is 12. And 2 plus 3, that is 5. Don't forget your square root 6. Okay? And there you have it. Our next practice is rationalize denominator. Now, let's look at our first question. We have 5 over square root 7 plus 1. Unlike the earlier practice, if we see something like this, we want to rationalize the denominator. All we need to do is to multiply a square root 7 over square root 7. And then we have 5 square root 7 over 7. We are done. Now, this time it's a little bit different because we're going to times a square root 7 minus 1. And on the top is also square root 7 minus 1. Why? Because we're trying to use a rule that says this. M plus n times m minus n is m squared minus n squared. This is something you learned from Algebra 1. Now, with this in mind, with this rule in mind, and we give it a very special one, that is as square root 7 minus 1 over square root 7 minus 1. This is actually a 1. The quantity is 1. Therefore, we did not change the value, and we're going to change the form. Now, let's look at the denominator. So we have square root 7 squared minus 1 squared. On the top, we have 5 square root 7 minus 1. Okay, now, square root 7 squared is 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. And the numerator, 5 square root 7 minus 5. Take one more look. Can we simplify? No, that's it. We stop right here. Alright, our next question is right here. We're going to copy it down and then utilize this rule. Therefore, we're going to times square root 3 plus square root 2. Square root 3 plus square root 2. So, the denominator gives us square root 3 squared minus square root 2 squared. And the numerator is x times square root 3 plus square root 2. Let's look at the denominator one more time. Square root 3 squared is 3, and minus square root 2 squared is 2, so our denominator become 1. Our numerator says x times square root 3 plus square root 2. And you can continue right, or you can leave it here. You say, okay, there you have it. You can stay right here. No problem at all. That's it. Happy learning.